Hello and welcome everyone. I would like to introduce you to our topic, which will be the firearm safety using RFID. RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification System. Basically, first of all, I would like to introduce myself and my partner. Myself is Chatura Nisanka, and my partner is Manas Hasim. We both like final year, final semester students from Charles Sturt University. Uh, Beginning with the presentation, the first part will be done by myself, and the second part will be continued by Mr. Manas Hasim. Starting off from the first slide, move along. Moving along, so the introduction. First of all, we'll see what's an RFID. As I said earlier, RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification. Um, Basically, an RFID is a radio frequency signal which use the electromagnetic as a medium, and this field identify objects that carries the tag with the RFID sensor. If you can see the diagram which I have put on this presentation, it will give you a brief idea like how an RFID system works. Basically, it's got two major parts: RFID reader and RFID transponder. The reader itself connected to a antenna which transmits the signal, and the transponder which will pick up the signal, it will release the signal to pick up from the RFID reader, and the reader broadcasts signals to antenna which already attached to the RFID reader, and it sends the information, data, and all the necessary details to the computer system to process the signal. The transponder itself will receive the signal. It will store enough energy to send that the identification response like the data. So basically that is the RFID technology. And just moving along to my next slide, I will introduce you how RFID can be used for firearm safety. So moving along the presentation, I'll give you some more details about this RFID chip. The RFID chip got itself like carrying 2000 bytes of data, the capacity, or it can be 2000 bytes or less, and it can be used for many applications. Like a few of the famous applications were um, radio frequency register marking. It can be used in schools, most of the identification systems around the world, for buildings and many things. The newest trend on RFID technology, one of the newest trend, not the only trend, one of the new trends from RFID technology was it can be used on firearms with combined with RFID. One final product comes out as a smart firearm. What does a smart firearm do? The smart firearm is one of the safety units which was used nowadays to increase the safetiness of a firearm. How can it be done? Um, the the simplest way to explain that how can it be done is uh, firearm. How does a firearm work? It's a mechanical mechanism. Basically, you pull the trigger and it will fire. So there's no limits for that. So what does the RFID does is it will limit the usage of the firearm by passing a signal from a very particular chip to a very particular reader, so only the person who's using the gun or only the person who is authorized to use the gun will be able to use it. So it will increase the safetiness of using the firearm. It will stop the firearm be used by like different people or unauthorized people. So moving on to next slide, I will briefly introduce you to few of the experiments carried out by few companies related to RFID with combination of firearms. So there are like number of companies around the world which carried out research about the smart guns. Uh, Among them companies, the ones I mentioned over here is one of the major companies which do related work to smart firearms. Um, the first incident which occurs on 1993, one of the law enforcement officers was shot during their services by using their own gun, which leads the government and people to think about a smart gun. So in 1994, Sandia Nation Laboratories began to research and investigate about developing a smart gun. That was the first milestone of the smart gun. Not the second, but one of the major companies were Coase Manufacturing Company. The Coase smart gun was one of the powerful smart guns were ever built during the time around 1997. It's a 40 caliber pistol which used like cold magnetic signal technology combined with RFID, which allows the user to like do a signature loading process which only allows the user to load the gun. Moving on, the third company or the third corporation that I picked was iGun Technology, was the first company to build a shotgun which called M2000, which uses the low frequency RFID signals to block and activate the other devices um, of the firearm. Only the authorized person can be used. It was built around 1998, and after 98, the Trigger Smart company came along, giving the birth to the nowadays smart gun. Um, well, Trigger Smart company was one of the biggest companies in smart gun industry. The company is a combination of Georgia Technology Island and the Satellite Research Institute. So affiliated with Georgia Tech Island, they developed the Trigger smart gun using RFID technology. The Ametrix smart gun was the final smart gun company which I'm going to talk about in this presentation. is one of the recent German manufacturer who supposed to create the smart gun. It's the main uniqueness of the what makes smart gun from the German manufacturer. It's more accurate. It will cover the main concept behind the smart gun, and it will use all the how can I say, like greenery technology for the smart gun. It doesn't mean like it's one of the best products in the market, or it's one of the best product ever built using the RFID technology for smart gun safety. Uh, but Atmaxic Smart Gun Company is one of the best companies which provide smart technology for firearms in nowadays world, along with the other companies which I have mentioned on my previous slides. Uh, the issue related to Atmospheric Smart Gun system is the battery life, because when it comes to modern and when it comes to digital, one of the things that we need to consider is the battery life. Well, as example, when you're in a battlefield, and when you're like facing the enemy, and for that couple of seconds you don't really need to run out of battery. So moving along with the methodology of the smart gun technology using the RFID, my partner Monas Hassim will explain the methodology, the mechanism, and how does it work, and how will it work for the firearm in the future. And he will give the technical aspect of the smart gun uh, to you. I would like to say thank you for listening to my presentation. At the end of the presentation, after my colleague Manas Hussain has presented, um, please feel free to introduce all the questions. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Manas. My topic is firearm safety using RFID. Author has come across several related works such as namely icon, trigger smart, and RMatrix. Let's see what are the issues in these systems. Issues are reliability of the system. Distance is limited to 2 to 3 centimeter. Battery life of the receiver or tag. RFID tags can be accessed by real RFID readers. Sensor accuracy when working with metals or liquids. Privacy and security issues. The solution for those issues are mentioned here. The in some system they use PIN as the authentication method for to activate the firearm. Instead of using PIN, they can use ring or bracelet as a reliable method. To avoid the distance limit, they can use high frequency antennas. Instead of using battery, they can use passive text passive text because passive text can work without batteries. The reason is some of the system like Parametrics they use watch with the battery. So instead of that they can use passive text. Some RFID tags won't work with metals as we mentioned earlier. To avoid that we can use passive tags with low frequency to avoid signal loss inside the metals and liquids. Passive tags with low frequency work well with metals and liquids. Let's see what are the advantages of the RFID tag. The RFID text, RFID technology and poss- possibility of having unique ID, no duplicates in the system, so high security and sensitive data is guaranteed. High speed data capture helps to prevent from misuse of data. It will automatically deactivate the file, can read many texts at the same time, wireless, automatically identify weapons and equipment. And the disadvantages and additional training need to be provided because a lot of people don't know how to use the hardware. And RFID technology can be reverse engineered, and people can use against us when it works properly. People can get people can use against us. Not like other technologies, RFID readers struggle to pick up information when passing through metals or liquid. Some RFID signal can be jammed with other similar signals, and some industries using firearm with the RFID is banking, business, defense. Most of them are used by defense and military section. Best as a conclusion, the the last least best application to use the RFID for weapon, as nowadays many crime and illegal activities are carrying because of misuse of firearms. Thank you for watching.